Guys, thanks for watching. I am Melky and I'm going to update on Microsoft Surface Agreement, which is going to be applied on August 15, 2002. So let's start reading here. We are updating the Microsoft Surface Agreement, which applies to your use of Microsoft consumer online products and services. This page provides a summary of the most notable changes to the Microsoft Surface Agreement. In addition to these changes, we've also made other modifications to make the Microsoft Surface Agreement more user-friendly. We've added an introduction that includes helpful information such as a link to the frequently asked question page and a link to this summary of changes page. We will also continue to keep the summary of changes from the previous version of the Microsoft Surface Agreement on this summary of changes page. We've also added a word count and estimated reading time for the Microsoft Surface Agreement. To see all of the changes, please read the full Microsoft Surface Agreement here. Guys, I gotta give a little notice before I continue. I am not a legal professional. Let me put the camera here. I cannot see my own eyes. I am not a legal professional. I am prone to mistakes, and this is not a professional advice. Please take with a grain of salt, especially if you want to use it for an important stuff or things with high stakes. I am not designing this for that. Again, I may need to revise some of my opinions or my reading in the future if I made a mistake, which is probably I would. Okay, guys, let's continue on. To see all of the changes, please read the full Microsoft Surface Agreement here. So in this one, it is just a summary of changes. Okay, in the header, we've updated the publication date to 15th of June 2022 and the effective date to August 15th, 2022. 2. In the Code of Conduct section, we've clarified that Microsoft Start has guidelines that apply to user conduct and included a link to the Microsoft Start community guidelines to help users understand these guidelines. 3. In the Xbox Services section, we've made changes to reflect that we are sharing data with industry partners and not just game developers. This change allows us to enable new features for our customers and clarifies that when an Xbox user links their Microsoft account to non-Microsoft services, we share certain data with industry partners so they can provide their non-Microsoft services within the Xbox ecosystem. In the Using the Services and Support section, we've made changes to align with the Microsoft policy regarding inactive Microsoft accounts. We also added a link to the Xbox subscriptions, terms and conditions in the Xbox Services section, to make the terms and conditions that are specific to Xbox subscription more prominent and easier for users to find. We've added the inactive Xbox Service subscription policy to reflect the new policy that Microsoft established for Xbox. Under this policy, Microsoft may turn off your recurring billing if you do not use your applicable Xbox Services subscription for a period of time. Why are they doing is okay, let's continue on. In the Skype, no, I have no beef about that, but I just want to understand why. And next, in the Skype, Microsoft Teams and GroupMe section, our changes reflect the obligations that Microsoft has to offer access to emergency services such as 911 or 112 emergency calling through Skype and Microsoft Teams. We've clarified that only the Skype to phone feature of Skype may support calls to emergency services in a very limited number of countries. We've also clarified that in some regions, Microsoft Teams uses international numbers that could count as an international text message. Sorry, I got a notification in my phone, so I am a little bit distracted. Number 5, in the Surface-specific terms section, we've removed the subsection that covered Microsoft Band because Microsoft Health Dashboard application and services were discontinued and web-connected features are no longer applicable for Microsoft Band. Number 6, in the Surface specific terms section, we've added a section for Microsoft Soundscape that clarifies that it is a general purpose consumer surface. We've also clarified that the Microsoft Power Platform Surface is governed by the terms and conditions of the enterprise agreements applicable to Microsoft Power Platform. Number 7, for customers in the United States. Oh, my phone is. Please excuse me a little bit, guys. Okay, number 7, for customers in the United States, in the binding arbitration and class action waiver section, we've added procedures if 25 or more customers file coordinated arbitrations. These arbitrations would be resolved in excuse me, with in the binding arbitration and class action waiver section, we've added procedures if 25 or more customers file coordinated arbitrations. This arbitration will be resolved in batches of up to 50 individual arbitrations. After each batch of up to 50 is resolved, the next batch of up to 50 individual arbitrations could be filed. We've clarified that arbitrators may award injunctions that would affect you and us only. We've also clarified that if a court finds part of this section unenforceable, an arbitrator would resolve all arbitrable claims and remedies before any court proceeding begins on remaining ones. We've given courts rather than arbitrators authority to decide more issues, including whether this section is enforceable and what it covers, and to enjoin arbitrations that don't comply with it. We've also provided that small claims court cases may be filed in your home county only. Okay, let's start again, just to make clear of the context, because sometimes after we read for a while, we kind of lost the context, right? So this is the update to Microsoft Surface Agreement, and number 7 that we just read, and it highlights that what's different from the previous Surface Agreement, which is about binding arbitration and class action. Next, number 8, in the notice section, we've made edits to update the notice status of certain licenses and patents. Number 9, okay, number 9, throughout the terms, we've made changes to improve clarity and to address grammar, typos, and other similar issues. We've also updated naming and hyperlinks. Summary, this is there's another one. I'm sorry guys, I'm just going to read on. This is a little bit strange to me for now, but later probably I would understand it. Summary of changes to the Microsoft Surface Agreement, June 15, 2021. In the header, we've updated the publication date to April 1, 2021 and the effective date to June 15, 2021. And then number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. I think it is still relevant right now, so let's read it. This is just the last update of the previous version of Surface Agreement, but it is something that is relevant for the sake of getting a grip of what's new. And number 2, in the closing your account section, we've clarified that when you ask us to close your Microsoft account, you can choose to put it in a suspended state for either 30 or 60 days, just in case you change your mind. After that 30 or 60-day period, your Microsoft account will be closed. Logging back in during the suspension period will reactivate your Microsoft account. In the payments terms section, we've clarified our cancellation policies. This is the third changes in the payment terms section. If you initiate a chargeback or reversal with your bank for your payment of services. The fourth, in the Xbox section, we've added references to specific subscriptions and services, included ambassadors in the game manager section. So there's an ambassador, some kind of thing, ambassador in the game managers, and clarified ways to purchase virtual game currency. We've also removed the section for Arena and Mixer because we no longer offer those services. Next, In the Skype and GroupMe section, we've included Microsoft Teams. We've also clarified that Microsoft is not required to offer access to emergency services for Skype, Microsoft Teams, and GroupMe. We've also clarified your responsibilities around traditional mobile or fixed line telephone services. Microsoft Teams also may be subject to international message fees. We added a link to information about using a Skype number and clarified that you may be entitled, under applicable law, to a refund upon request of any prepaid subscription balance in the event you switch your Skype number to another provider. We also removed the government users and the send to and receive money sections because we no longer support these options. This part, let me repeat one part of this. We added a link to information about using a Skype number and clarified that you may be entitled under applicable law to a refund upon request of any prepaid subscription balance in the event you switch your Skype number to another provider. All right. Next, in the Outlook and Office Service sections, we've removed the Outlook.com section to clarify that an email address or username is not recycled into our system or assigned to another user. We've also included reference to the use of Bing Maps for Outlook. Okay, I don't understand the part where Outlooks.com section could contribute to the recycling of an email address and username to another user. Okay, next, 7. In the Microsoft Rewards section, we've clarified ways to use your reward points for donating to non-profit organizations. And 8, next, in the notice section, we've clarified that financial information provided through the services is for your personal, non-commercial use only, and that other users require a separate agreement with our third-party licensors. Next, throughout the terms, we've made changes to improve clarity and to address grammar, typos, update naming, and hyperlinks, and other similar issues. I want to repeat number 7 and 8, guys. In the Microsoft Rewards section, we've clarified ways to use rewards points for donating to non-profit organizations. So that means these rewards could become a currency, but I don't really clear. Is it going to be in the form of goods or services, or Microsoft serve specific bonuses to these non-profit organizations? I guess there's something interesting to look at there, because probably there's a type of network or a line or a relationship where Microsoft could contribute a unique type of interaction with these non-profit organizations, probably. Next, in the notice section, we've clarified that financial information provided through the services is for your personal, non-commercial use only. Non-commercial but financial. Wait a minute, guys. In the notice section, we've clarified that financial information provided through the service is for your personal, non-commercial use only, and that other users require a separate agreement with our third party, not Microsoft, okay, licensors. So I think this is about news, right? News from MSN, probably MSN Money. But I don't do Microsoft. I think Microsoft also provided some other services related to financial stuff, like application and stuff. Of course, we're going to use it for commercial purposes. I mean, and what if there's some information that came out of that? But obviously, this is I think this one is talking about news, right? Okay, guys. Let's move on to the service agreement just a little bit, because I want to end the video soon. I think this section is something that is worthy of contemplation. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong link probably. I'm sorry about that. A full agreement here. Okay, I think it is worthy of contemplation. So I'm probably going to dilute the concentration of this video if I if I move too far forward. But what do you guys think of this section in particular, right? And I want you guys to be able to have your own impression, your unique impression, and express it in this video if you're willing. Okay, here's a little bit of snippets of the Microsoft Service Agreement. Obviously, they're going to link for the, excuse me, what is this? They are going to link to the main privacy policy. Definitely your privacy, your content, code of conduct, using the services and support, using third-party apps and services, service availability, updates to the service and software, and to these terms. So if you the first part here, privacy, I'm going to need to read the privacy policy again. Obviously, reading it last year is going to dilute some of the stuff that I've read last year is going to be diluted in my mind. I won't. It is nice just to have a grip on these things. And software license, payment terms, contracting entity, choice of law, jurisdiction, warranties, limitation of liability, service-specific terms, Xbox Store, Microsoft Family features, group messaging, Skype, Microsoft Teams, and GroupMe, Bing and MSN, Cortana, Office-based service, health bots, digital goods, OneDrive, Microsoft Reward, Azure, Microsoft Soundscape, Power Platform, binding arbitration, and class action waiver. So this specific application right here, guys, is going to be weird because some of us are not going to use this application. But what we want to check out in this one is that how it relates to the services that we are using currently. It's still important to read, so I'm going to read it through. Miscellaneous and notice, standard application, license, and covered service. One last thing, guys, before I end the video. The reason why I make this video is just so that to improve the quality of my property. Here's the thing is that our biological property, such as our body, is something that we can control and we can have access to all the time. Our artificial properties, such as our land, our building, it is something that is ours, but it is being maintained by the law, obviously, and the government and the society and everything. But we can definitely have a grip on it because of what is written clearly, black on white, black on white in the law. So everybody could synchronize with it and could acknowledge it and put boundaries on, and it became a property. So so we also have properties within our relationship in the internet, and I do believe that if we interacted with the law that maintain our property, we could increase the quality of its property, of the property. Thank you very much. I'll see you again. Bye.